what I want to do is I want to bring out somebody who I met 22 years ago. I used to live in San Diego, California at the beach. I used to literally live on the ocean, literally, right? I'd be at the beach every day with my headphones and my cell phone on my little Nokia flip phone, and I would go out there with a list of leads and my colored pens and my little yellow highlighter, and I would sit on the beach, and sometimes I would sit under a towel, and I would prospect people who requested information about making money working from home. And this was back in 1998, 1999, year 2000. And there was a leader in the local area who had an office about maybe 15, 20 minutes from where I lived. And she was doing Tuesday and Thursday night business opportunity presentations. And every Saturday there was a team training for everyone that joined on Tuesday and Thursday. And it was like clockwork that not only I was there to learn from other leaders and who are more successful than I was, right? But there was also a guy there in the office every single week. He was usually dressed in either a suit or his military outfit. He was wearing his Marine fatigues, I believe. And man, this guy showed up every single day. He didn't just show up, but he put up the numbers, right? You want to be recognized in the business? Some of you will work harder for recognition than money. Well, this guy was putting up the numbers, and he was recognized in that office, and he was recognized on that team, and he became a superstar. But yet there was something about him that he wasn't truly ready yet, because he went through the next 8 or 10 years of his career figuring out and kind of fucking around in a lot of different companies and a lot of different opportunities. But he learned how to market. He learned how to talk to people. He became one of the best communicators in our industry. He had joined one of my other teams, or a couple of other teams. I then joined a couple of his teams over the years because I saw how committed he is. I saw his passion, his commitment, his desire, his dedication, not just to his own success, but to the success of everybody that he works with. And so I want to bring onto the call not only one of my great friends, but also our upline leader, our upline 500K affiliate. Give it up for Aron Parker, guys.
Woo!
What's up, bro?
Mr. Rashkin, what's up, brother?
How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, dude.
I'm doing great. It's an honor. I'm excited to be here with you guys. What a beautiful group of people, man.
Yeah, this is the CBD All-Stars. You know, I don't share it often, and I don't really care about the brand of our team. Like, I'm wearing the Power Team shirt right now, you know? Woo! Like, I got my Power Team tank on. I got 2 more on the way. I'm excited. Yeah. We're all like, we got a thread that runs through us all, you know? And I talked about it earlier, Aaron. I talked about our peace is our power, right? Our peace is our real power. When you give away your power, you cannot be peaceful, right? But anyway, I want to share something real quickly. You know, I searched, you know, for a long time for a company that was built on a system of checks and balances. And, you know, not only did I, you know, take off from the industry for a couple of years between the last network marketing venture and joining My Daily Choice, but I knew that there were going to be people between me and the upline leaders that were probably going to disappear and compress. And so I wanted to make sure that whoever I joined could lead me to somebody at the top who wasn't just at the top, but who was committed to staying there. I was looking for somebody with character. I was looking for somebody that had integrity and somebody who did what they said they were going to do by when they said they were going to do it. And all roads and all signs pointed to Aron and Kathy Parker. So, dude, jump out here, man. Say hey to the team. The All-Stars are a mixture of teams, right? It's like an all-star game, right? You get the best of breed in the all-star game, and everybody knows their, you know, the all-stars as a leader on their own team. And that's what I set out to do, is because I was tired of standing in the spotlight. I wanted to stand behind the spotlight. And we have a dozen plus ranked leaders on this call here today. And I wanted you to share a little bit about, you know, what has happened in your life when you found your own peace, your own power, and you decided to stop caring about other people's opinions of you?
Man, well, first of all, you really bring me back to the 1999.
Yep.
It's hard to even say that's like so long ago. It's a lifetime ago, before kids, before my wife, you know, in the Marines, building network marketing part-time while I'm in the Marine Corps full-time. And I think that you perfectly described the journey for me. Is I was like, I wanted it, and I was chasing the dream and the vision, and I saw what was possible, but there was always something holding me back. And, you know, it's funny, the lady that you just alluded to, I actually just talked to her yesterday on the phone for a few minutes. So it's just incredible, the relationships and the journey that we go through in this industry. And so many people, even friends of mine from back then, who have, you know, they've quit, and they've, you know, now they're on to, you know, new lives and doing different things. And for me, I just, you know, and I always looked up to you, and I've learned so much from you over the last 20 years, Aron. And, you know, for me, I just bought in hook, line, and sinker to this vision, to this idea of entrepreneurship. And as much disappointment as there was along the way, and as much frustration and why isn't this working, I just kept holding on to that little seed of possibility, of knowing that it can happen for me. But I knew that it wasn't going to happen for me until I was ready. And one of the biggest frustrations for me, just kind of looking back over the last 20 years, is trying to figure out, well, why did it take me so long? Why did it take so long? And, you know, I can remember after first meeting you in 1999, and then, like you mentioned, there was, you know, a couple companies where we still worked together over these many years off and on. And it was just an ongoing, constant process of growing and learning and developing communication and relationships and skills along the way. And I think the biggest thing for me was just, and you kind of alluded to it as well, is not caring about what other people think. I think if one of, you know, and I've had, you know, millions of conversations with Kathy, like, what holds people back? Like, if you had to pinpoint it on one thing. And for me personally, and for so many thousands of people that I've worked with, it's like almost no matter what it is, it always, for me, it appears that it comes back to that one statement of, if you're not having success, it's because somewhere you are caring more about what other people think than your success. Whether it's a spouse, or it's a mom, or a dad, or a brother, or a neighbor, or people on Facebook, whoever it is, there is a piece of you that is still holding back. And guys, again, this is all personal experience here. Yeah. It's a piece that is not stepping into your greatness. There's a piece that is worried in the back of your mind of, well, what is she going to think? And what is he going to think? And what are people going to say? And it's all of those thoughts that actually stop us in our tracks. And it stops us from stepping into our greatness, of becoming who we can be. And the really crazy thing is, I feel like as much growth as I've gone through over the years, and as much success as we're having today, like, I still have this challenge. Like, it's like it's always still there a little bit.
It's lingering up there, right? There's always
like it's still there.
There's always this. Isn't it interesting? There's always this one person that we have to try to get approval from, right? There's always this one person that we're afraid of their opinion, or we're afraid of their lashback, or we're afraid that they're going to publicly denounce us or oust us. But yet that's a story that we tell ourselves as though it's true. And we can be so convincing in our own mind that we're not good enough for somebody else, because there's a part of us that still feels we're not good enough for ourselves. And until we have that piece of self-love restored back in our hearts, it'll never change. It'll never stop. So, you know, I always talk about, and I don't know how long you were on the call, Aron, but I talked about how our lives are a projector, right? Like, everything out here is a direct reflection of what's in here. So if we think there's somebody out there that doesn't approve of us, there's a little tiny piece of our own heart that still doesn't approve of ourselves. Or if there's somebody out here that hates us, or they're angry about us, or they don't like something that we do or that we said, it can only exist if it exists within us, right? So it's all about learning how to not just source and have self-love, but it's also about forgiveness, right? We got to learn how to forgive ourselves so that we don't continue to beat ourselves up. And when we stop beating ourselves up, we will not even experience what other people feel of us. In other words, what they think of us will become none of our business. Right, Aaron? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And, for me now, like, okay, we're having great success, more success than we've ever had in our life. So for me today may not be like one person, like Aaron said, there has been over the years, trust me, there's always that, like he said, there's that one person, and we care more about what they're going to think than our own success. And so when everyone who's watching this to think about who that person may be and really just become aware of that and realize that you have to, at some point, draw the line in the sand. You have to, at some point, say, no, my success for my family is more important than the opinion of this person. And the craziest thing is when you do go have success and you're crushing it, 99% of the time, that person, whatever it was you thought they were saying or thinking or were going to say, usually they're going to be like, woo, yeah, they're going to be cheering you on. Now, you may still have some haters. You may still have some people who are going to talk smack even when you're having huge success, and that's normal. That happens as well. And you have to be strong enough to say, you know what? There's this person who is still out there talking crap about me, even though I'm having success. And you've got to be strong enough to say, I don't care.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing this. I know where I'm going, no matter what he or she thinks about me. And it was in that moment where I get like goosebumps thinking about it. We're in that moment where I finally made that decision. That's why our motto for the power team is I have decided, because I think all success just simply comes down to deciding. And it was like a decision of I'm no longer going to allow the opinions of others stop me from achieving my goals. And so I encourage everyone who's on here to just be very aware of those thoughts, of the emotion, the feelings of what or who is holding you back, because there's something out there. And it may be an imaginary person. It may be, well, I don't know who it is, Aaron, but you're not posting on Facebook, or you're holding back on Facebook because of imaginary people. You may not even know who it is, but who's going to see it? And what are people going to say? And what are people going to think? You have to get past all of that. Once you do, it like opens the floodgates and you become free and your success just like starts pouring in. Yeah. So, I mean, I love that. It's so awesome.
Yeah. I want to, first of all, you said a couple of things that I just want to kind of piggyback on, and then I want to share a quick story. So, you talked about the possibilities, right? The seed of possibility, it was kept alive all that time, right? When you were going through the struggles, right? When you're talking yourself out of success, right? How many of you guys negotiate yourself down from doing something that you know could be super productive? If you would just do it and not care about what anybody else thinks, right? Some of you do that quite a bit. Some of you do it in every area of your life. Right now, I've been on this kick lately, for the last 25 years, that self-discipline is the highest form of self-love, right? Because when you practice self-discipline, it means that you value yourself, you're honoring yourself and respecting yourself, right? Now, self-discipline doesn't just mean like going out on a walk or going to the gym or going to your CrossFit classes or going and lifting weights or doing your yoga or your meditation. Self-discipline, right? An example of self-discipline is learning how to let go of what you believe other people think of you, right? It's all from within. This is a conversation that you're having from within. So the possibility of your success is huge. It's all there. But it's up to you to make it a probability. And the best way to stack the deck in your favor and increase your odds of success is to take full responsibility, right? I talked about radical responsibility. So it's all possible, but it's up to you to make it probable. It's like when you go to Las Vegas, right? When we go to Las Vegas, if we ever go to Las Vegas or we go to a city where there's casinos, right? When we first show up and we're new to gambling, if we play the cards or we play at the tables, it's a game of risk, right? And you take a huge chance on your success in Las Vegas. But once you learn the rules, it becomes a game of odds. And you can stack the deck in your favor when you let go of the need for approval of other people. When you let go of the fear of disapproval of other people. When you let go of the need for approval of other people's opinions of you. When you let go of the concern you have about how you look to everyone else. And let me tell you, while you're so concerned about how you look to everyone else is concerned about how they look to you. Nobody is judging you. The only time you're judged is when you judge yourself. When you have to be perfect in order to be lovable. There's no such thing as perfection in production, right, Aaron Parker? Right? There's no such thing. We make more mistakes before noon than most people make in an entire career in this industry. We got told no more than most people will ever hear that in their lives, right? Getting our business started. And the funny thing is that hardly anybody tells you no, right, Aaron? What they do is they disappear. But let me tell you, that's their decision. And we're in the business of identifying the right people, getting them exposed to the information, following up and following through. That's called validation. And what? Collecting a decision. And if somebody ghosts you, right, I'm going to use some new age terminology. If somebody ghosts you, that's their decision. Indecision is really decision in disguise. Some of you are sitting there going, oh, I think they're going to do it. Meanwhile, they're not even thinking about doing it. They're thinking about when the next movie they can watch on Netflix starts. They're thinking about when they can, go outdoors and go be around people again. They're not thinking about what you're thinking about. So you have to be less attached to the people and their decisions and more attached to the process of bringing people through this art of exposure. Right, Aaron? So that was the first thing I wanted to share, Aaron, is the difference between possibility and probability. Every one of you has possibility, right? Every one of you has potential, right? But it's up to you to make it probable, right? It's all possible, but it's up to you to make it probable. And you're the only one who can determine the outcomes here, right? How many of you have a light bulb moment right now? A little breakthrough, a little aha, a little wow, this is making a lot of sense to me. That little light bulb that's going on over your head, remember this, you're the only one who can dim it or turn it off. It's all about your own thoughts and mindset consciousness. So Aaron, that was the first thing I wanted to share. The second thing is I want to talk a little bit about what you were referring to about being able to get past the need for approval, right? Some of you heard me share this story before. Some of you've never heard it. So this is really important. A little boy and his dad are walking through the woods and they come upon a little twig. And attached to the twig is a little cocoon. There's a little caterpillar inside the cocoon. So they bring the twig home and they set it on a jar and they wait. And one morning the little boy wakes up and he sees that the cocoon is trembling and the twig on the top of the jar is starting to shake. And out of the cocoon peers a tiny little wing. That little caterpillar is turning into a butterfly. And they watch that wing break the opening of the cocoon just a little bit. And it looked as though the wing was stuck. So the little boy runs to the kitchen and gets a knife and he comes back and he goes to slice the cocoon open and his dad grabs his hand and says, son, don't do it. Don't slice the cocoon. He said the strength that little caterpillar needs in order to break out of the cocoon is the exact same strength that it will need to fly. Some of you want to break out of the cocoon by having somebody slice it open for you. Some of you want this to be easy. And the truth is that you have to learn to muster up the strength to break out of the cocoon by choice so that you can fly wherever you want. Once you break out of the cocoon, once you break out of that cocoon, you can do anything you set your mind to. But some of you are stuck in the cocoon because you're waiting. My question is this, is what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? No one is going to do this for you. You have to choose to do it yourself. You have to be consciously choosing every moment of every day. Like that incantation I talked about, right? The incantation, I am successful and I am confident and I'm in the process of receiving the results I deserve. And that's when you start building your business, when you believe that to be true. So Aron, powerful stuff, dude. I am so, so glad to be a part of your team. You have created a container for us, literally. And I always talk about this with Jenna and Josh, and I've used it in my own story as well. But your dreams are so big that everyone's visions fit inside of it. And I just, I know you don't have all day to be on with us, but if you could share, and I know you mentioned earlier that one thing, but if you could share not just advice, but how would you start your business again today if you didn't have experience in this industry and you had the training that you offer and that all of us offer to our teams, right? All this training, we have so much training, we have so much information and education and inspiration, right? There's so much here. If you were brand new today, you just got started today, and you didn't have 20 years of experience in this industry, how would you start your business? How could people get started today with what we have available to us? What would you be doing?
Wow, that's a tough question, but I love it. It's a very important question. So, I would have to get creative in the answer because obviously I do have a lot of experience. So I'm going to, do my best to give you the correct answer. And that is, if I didn't have the experience, if I didn't have the last 20 years and I was just starting on the power team, what would I do? But I knew what was required for success and I had all the training. I'll give you an example. So Kathy's sister, Crystal, we actually, many years ago, about 10 years ago, when we were living in Indiana, I was working at a factory. And when we first moved there, before I got the factory job, we were living in her basement because we were so broke. We were living in Crystal's basement. And while I'm living in Crystal's basement, I was actually working a tech job from the computer and building network marketing. And so she's literally seen from living in her basement to the last 10 years of having breakthroughs and now where we are today. And after 2 years, and she's never done network marketing to build, like she's been a customer of companies before, but never wanted to do network marketing. She's a school teacher, by the way. And after 2 years of My Daily Choice and seeing the success, she just joined with Kathy. And again, no experience, all the same training everyone else has. And all we did was tell her that her goal was to get 4. Her first month was get 4. And if you guys are on the team, we're always talking about getting 4. Every month we do little promos and stuff about getting 4. And the reason why 4 is like a magic number is because when you get your 4, you get extra commission in the global bonus pool with My Daily Choice. So we love the get 4 promo every month to get 4 new people. And so Crystal, never doing this before, no experience, no network, nothing on Facebook ever about business. All she did was she reached out. She made contact with who? Not network marketers. She didn't know any network marketers. She reached out to everyone she knew. And the biggest thing she had to, now one thing I guess you could say an advantage she had was she's watched us. Like she's seen the journey and the struggle, and she knows what we've been through. And we lived with her. So she's seen us do this before we were successful, when we were just getting started. And so we said, listen, you've got to go message as many people as you can. Who do you know? And the question that you're messaging people is very simple. It's, and we could go for a long time on all the scripts and training and different ways to talk to people. But at the bottom line, end of the day is, it's when you're reaching out to people, you need to find out if they're willing to try some of the products. So it's using the favor method, which we love. And that is, listen, you're a friend of mine, you're a neighbor, we work together, whatever it is, whatever the relationship is, you know them somehow. And hey, I've just launched a new business, and I would love if you could support me in my new business. Mm-hmm. Would you be willing to try any of our products? You're going to absolutely love them. And you get a 60-day money-back guarantee. So you really have nothing to lose. It would mean a lot to me. Mm-hmm. Can you do me this favor? And she, contacted like 60 people, and she got 4 signups. So the numbers aren't like spectacular, right? But she got her first month, last month in the business. And she's like through the moon, excited. She's like, oh my God, I get a t-shirt and I got my 4. I'm going to get in the bonus pool. Woo! So it's helping all of you and all of your new affiliates do the same. It's a simple process. So it's, who do you know that would like to try the products? And or do you know anyone who would like to generate some extra income working from home? And guess what? Her number, because this is a good question to ask people. This is a question I would ask all of you. And the number changes, but what is your number? And I don't mean like crazy numbers, like a realistic 2-day, how much money would you like to make per month? And I need all of you to write that number down. Put it in the comments if you want. What is your number? It's not, I want to make $100,000 a month. No. Yeah, that could be, down the road, but like literally today, by next month, your short-term goal, what is your number? Is it $500 a month? Is it $500 a week? Realistically, what is your number? And so Crystal's was 1,000. So we're working with her, and we want to help her get to 1,000 a month, because for her as a school teacher, not making a lot, $1,000 a month extra is a big deal. And I think a lot of times, Aaron, we forget that. Like, we're always talking about these big numbers, 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month or more. But for most people, just an extra $500 to $1,000 a month is life-changing.
Yeah.
And so for everyone who's getting started, number one, you need to know that number. What is your short-term number? You want to become focused on that and be specific about, really how bad do you want it? Remember what we talked about earlier, not letting the opinions of others stop you, because when you start this, you're going to have some people who are going to poo-poo on your dreams, and they're going to try to piss in your ear, and you got to put the blocker up and not let it happen. So it's getting support for people to just try the products, get some customers, and who do you know that would like to make some extra money? And so for me, those 2 things, that's what I would focus on. To answer your question, if I was brand new, I would become, knowing what I know now, I would become obsessed. I would be relentless, and I would be messaging like a madman. I would be contacting, texting, calling, messaging literally every single person that I'm friends with on Facebook, and finding out if they would be willing to support me in my new business and try the products, or would you want to find out how we're generating some extra income with this incredible business, working with an amazing team. And as Aron is the expert of, because I've learned this from him over the years, it's about numbers. And you've just got to get as many numbers as fast as you can, using the scripts with excitement, with passion, and that is going to bring the results to help you create your first win, your first success. And then you just keep going and you don't stop. Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. Huge, huge. And when we have a fast start training inside our CBD All-Stars group, right? And the very first step when somebody comes on board, Aron, is for them to go through what I call the foundation. I do a new member Fast Start training call. It's our official Fast Start training call. And I talk about the things that leaders do, you know, from mindset to reading books, personal growth and development, masterminding with other leaders, setting goals, right? So when somebody gets started on our team, right, and they get access to our group, on our CBD All-Stars group, they go through this, you know, 3-hour training. There's actually 3 videos inside 5 steps. The other 2 steps are to set up their rotator to the side that their sponsor tells them to, which facilitates a relationship with their sponsor right away so that they're aware that they need to keep in contact with their sponsor. But then the second thing is also setting up their commission, payment methods so that when they make their first sale, because we want to plant the seed of expectation that they are going to get paid and paid quickly. So they need to set up a way to get paid. So we have people in the US do direct deposit. People overseas or outside of the US can use the Payoneer account, whatever, however they're going to get paid. But we have this new member Fast Start training. And when a person finishes their new member Fast Start training, actually the last part of the training is I talk about the 3 kinds of people that we all know and that we're going to take this message of our opportunity to, right? The first person is somebody who looks up to and respects us, somebody who comes to us with their problems, somebody who confides in us, somebody who comes to us for advice, somebody who comes to us because they want to vent a little bit, right? Those are people, right, that trust us and they look up to and respect us. And so we can recommend something for them. If we know what their problems are, we can recommend something for them to solve their problem. Say, hey, you know how you always tell me about that you don't have enough money to, pay all your bills, or you're stressed out, your family's stressed out, you have college tuition coming up, or you want to take the kids away, you've been promising them for 10 years that you want to take them to Disney World and you just never have the money to do it. Well, let me suggest something to you. You've told me enough times that I feel like I owe it to you to share this with you because this could really help you in your situation. Now, if the person's real serious about solving their problem, right, Aaron, they'll be all ears and they'll take a look, right? That's the first person that we can talk to. The second person is somebody who you tell that you just saw a great movie and you tell them, you have to see this movie. You have to go to this restaurant. You got to go try this new coffee over at the coffee shop. These are people who are your best friends, who love and respect you, and you can tell them what to do, right? You can tell them, you got to try this food. You got to go to this little street vendor. Best Philly cheesesteaks ever. Best pizza. Best lasagna. How many of you know people like this, right? Like that you can tell them, you got to try it. You got to go see this movie. You get so passionate about what you're telling people about that they just buy into your passion. Now, the word passion means pass it on. When you find something so good, you want to pass it on to people, right? So that's the second person. And then the third person is somebody who you look up to and respect. And you can ask them to take a look at what you're doing in different ways. There's a couple of ways that you can do that. The first way is you can ask them for advice. Say, hey, I just got started in this business. There's some tremendously successful people here. I would love to get your feedback, knowing how well you do and knowing how successful you are, and knowing that you already run a business or you run a company or you're in a corporate position. I would love to get your feedback on this business model that I just joined. That's one way to get a person's advice and get them exposed to the information, okay? You can also ask somebody to evaluate the business for you. Say, hey, I am not as successful as you, but I know you've had a lot of experience in this area. Would you mind taking a look at this for me and just giving me a little bit of feedback, right? I'd love to get your advice or your opinion on this, right? So there's multiple kinds of people that we can approach, and there's ways that we can approach them that are going to lower the resistance, right? It'll reduce the resistance and the friction, and it will increase the cooperation. And that's in the warm market, right, Aaron? We're talking about warm market. We call that low-hanging fruit. It's the fastest way to get some points on the board and some wins in the wins column. But here's the work that you need to do. You have to not care about anyone else's opinion. You have to, like what Aaron said, right? His sister-in-law, Krista, was it? what's her name? Krista?
Crystal, sorry, Crystal.
Crystal, right? Yeah, my fault. So Crystal, she went out and talked to 60 people. She probably was a little bit nervous, but didn't care more about their opinion than she cared about her success. And you have to be just like Crystal. You have to do exactly like her. Go out and talk to people. Now, here's the other thing. In our new member Fast Start training, when you're done with it, we have a text recruiting script where you can literally copy and paste word for word, right? Exactly what I did to launch my business and exactly what a lot of our members do to launch their business. We've had thousands of people use these text recruiting scripts over the years. And the fastest way to get a response is to text somebody. Okay. Just for those of you that don't know, the average email is opened in 4 days. The average text, 4 minutes. Okay. If you have somebody's phone number in your telephone, if you have a contact list in your smartphone, in your phone, if you have a list of people in your iPhone or your Android phone, okay, I don't care what kind of phone it is. If you have a contact list, I promise you there are people in your phone right now that you will probably never talk to for the rest of your life. Why do you care about their opinion? Why do you care about their approval? If you would just copy and paste the text recruiting script in the CBD All-Stars Recruiting Done Right files, I'll tell you what it says. It says, hey, what's up? How's it going? You're probably not interested, but who do you know that might be looking for a way to make an extra $3,000 to $5,000 this month? How many of you realize that if you sent that message out to your warm market contacts, people that you did business with in the past, people that you met at through a friend, someone you met at a party, someone you met on the line at the grocery store that you exchanged contacts with? How many of you have phones with people that would probably respond to that text message? By show of hands, raise your hand if you feel like you have a fortune in your phone right now. Remember, it's not who you know. It's who they know and who they know and who they know. I said this the other night. You can count the number of seeds in an apple, but you cannot count the number of apples inside one seed, right? Think about it. You can count the number of seeds inside an apple, but you cannot count the number of apples inside one seed. Think about that. It's network marketing. It's built on geometric growth and progression, it's called. It's geometric growth and progression. The one person that you know in your phone could literally lead you to dozens of other leaders, hundreds of other leaders, even thousands of other leaders, right? Exponential growth and geometric progression. Every single person that you walk by, that you ignore, that you prejudge could be costing you a fortune. Everybody get that? Raise your hand if you get that. If you guys are, if you're picking up what I'm putting down right now, right? If you understand how network marketing works, then you'll understand, right? Exponential growth and geometric progression. It's impossible, right? If you talk to enough people or you text enough people, right? It's impossible for you not to collect decisions. And because that's what we're in the business of collecting decisions. Remember, an indecision is a decision in disguise. So as long as you put the right message in front of the right person at just the right time, you're going to get people who give you an answer. And you're going to get a lot of no's, but in those no's, you're going to come across a few yeses. And inside those few yeses, they're going to become some really powerful leaders. And that's what network marketing is all about. So Aron Parker, I just want to say thank you for jumping out here. I know you had a lot, you got a lot of weights to lift. You got a lot of PRs to accomplish. You got a lot of pounds to move. But you know what, man? You are moving people in a way that I've never seen before from you, but also from a lot of leaders in this industry. You have deserved your rank. You've earned your title. And you are the leader that all of us have been looking for, bro. So
And bro, I can't even tell you how much that means to me. I'm just so blown away to be able to work with you guys. And I want to give you guys a huge shout out because this team, I mean, you guys are absolutely crushing it. I'm assuming you know, but in case you don't, Aron Rashkin and Jason Cardamone have by far the #1 team in the whole power team. So, woo! You guys are crushing it. I see some leaders on here. Jerica, what's up?
We're going to hear from them all right now. We're going to have everybody open up their lines, and I'm going to call out, Aron, if you want to hang out, I'm going to call out Christina Ungaro, Annette, right? Luis, Brett, Shara, Jerica, Kim, Skirto's here. Wendy's here, right? We got a lot. Jason, we got a lot of amazing people we're going to hear from today. And that's what we're going to do right now. Like my scheduled plan was to just, kind of run for about 90 minutes. And then for the last half hour, hear from our leaders. I want whoever I just called out, you guys are welcome to share. We're going to do a round robin. We're going to have kind of a panel discussion right now.
Nice. Aron, listen, I just want to again say how much I appreciate you for having me on. I'm just grateful to be a part of this team, to be able to work with you guys are absolutely crushing it. So I'm just grateful to be working with you and Jason and all the leaders on this team. You guys are crushing it. And I want to plant a little seed. I know some of you have this, but in case you don't, or if you do, you could have another one. Dropping a little hint for our August promo for the power team.
All right.
When you get your 4 in August, we're going to be sending you one of these books.
Oh, nice.
Burn Off, Average Sucks. Who wants a book? Anybody? Free books? I want to send every single one of you this book in August. So tomorrow night, Sunday, every Sunday night, Power Team Training, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm excited to see you guys there. And Aron, Jason, once again, you guys are amazing. I'm just grateful to work with you guys.
Love it. Thanks for being here, Aron Parker, and send our best to the family, Kathy and the girls, and you enjoy the rest of the weekend, man. We're about to blow up in August, man. I think there's some really big rank advancements happening, and I know that everyone here appreciates and really values you as a leader and a support for everyone's businesses here, man. So thanks for coming out.
Thank you, guys. Talk soon.
All right, guy. Have a good night.